they know that. Hey, Anita. From a photo op standpoint, that ladder looks bad behind him.
By the way,
thank you.
We got those in today.
I don't know if they need that ladder, but they need the ladder. Just letting them know she's corporate. She can relate to that, right?
I don't know.
Think she can relate to that?
I wasn't paying attention.
I mean, you can't very much have a climber there and then have some ladder right next to him. The pictures are.
She did.
Oh, okay. I can relate to that.
We don't want to mess with his reputation.
Yeah. You don't want anybody thinking he's climbing on the ladder to get to the chains. That would be bad.
We did that one year. We invited a newscaster, and we put a ladder up there, but then we had him climb the rope. And the camera was set up on a tripod pointing up like this. And when he started climbing that rope, he got really embarrassed and he realized he had holes in the bottoms of his cowboy boots. They were his favorite cowboy boots, right?
I'm going to find a place to sit because I haven't
Sit right here.
Actually, you know what? I got to be towards the back because I got 2 more guys coming out. But, you know, I might slide in there in a few, but... We should be here, buddy.
All the different crews, thank y'all. There was only like 75 here or something like that. I also want to thank all the competitors. You'll get thanked again, but thank you all. And for this evening, I'd like to give a special thanks to Steele for providing us all with food. Was there anybody that didn't get enough? Because you must not have been down there if you did. Anyways, this is some great food. I really appreciate it. We're kind of switching things around this year. We wanted to have more of the activities out at the park. Unfortunately, the weather didn't totally accommodate us, but for the most part it did. That it'll be judged primarily on your safe use and efficient use of the chainsaw. So with that, Mark, and just to let you know, this is going to be a demonstration. We've got about 10 people that are working on this on a crew. Some of the folks from the ITCC Rules Committee. This will gradually be brought into the competition once we feel it's at a level that the chapters can absorb it and do all that kind of stuff. So this is a demonstration. You're going to also see another demonstration tomorrow of another event that we'd like to do. And throughout the day, you'll see another event that's going to be demonstrated, and we'll talk about that tomorrow as well. But tonight, this is the, what are we calling this one? This is the Climb, cut, and chuck. That's what this is going to be called, folks. So anyways, Mark, you want to kick it off? Thank you very much.
How's that sound volume-wise? Is that good? How's that? Good? A little lower? A little better? All right. My name is Mark Chisholm, in case you guys don't know. Just playing around. We're going to try and do this before it gets too dark, obviously. But I just want to give you a quick rundown. Jim mentioned that what we're doing with the ITCC is trying to find ways to extend the education that goes on at these events and branch it out into the chainsaw safety, precision cutting, the pruning techniques, things that we do every day that I think will be definitely a big thing for our industry. There's a lot of different things we're going to probably change throughout the next year or two, but the way it works is we're going to try to incorporate some ideas today and tomorrow. We're going to give everybody time to comment on it. We're going to discuss it some more. We're going to change it, maybe do a little demo work again next year, and then try to come up with a good, feasible event that's going to obviously be educational, be fun to watch, and also be good for us to actually compete in and be able to be judged on. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to do a quick rundown of this event, do it in slow motion, so to speak, and just give you a feel for what we're going to try to achieve with this idea here. Let me start off by just saying that we're going to start most likely with a pre-installed line. The goal here is to be able to demonstrate a lot of different aspects of what we do. We're going to be wearing gas to show stability on a spar, tie-in technique to keep you attached to that spar, because a lot of times we're working in trees where you don't have a lot of limbs. There's some safety issues we tried to cover here with some steel blocks here to make sure we don't flip over if this isn't an event that has some speed involved with it. We don't want anyone getting hurt, so there's also that to be covered as well. What we're going to do is we're going to show how to spike into a spar with a pre-installed line. It's going to show hopefully a good posture when doing a pruning cut. This limb is actually something that's called the weighted limb drop, and what it is it's just a way of demonstrating what we do every day. You got a limb that's got weight on it. We're going to have to demonstrate precision cutting in that we got to make our cuts precise in the area that we're designated at, and I'll explain that to you later. And then we're going to make a finishing cut that's going to basically simulate a collar cut where we want to avoid damaging the collar or the cambium of the tree. After that, we're going to move to the top of the spar and simulate an overlap or mismatch cut, depending on what terminology you're familiar with. And what that is we're going to show how to make a cut within a certain parameter at the top. There's two red marks. I got to bypass one and then bypass the other. And try to cut as close to that line without not cutting through it to show precision with my cutting ability, and judge how much I need to be able to break that piece off with the saw shut off, and then throw it down into a designated area, target if you would, and have some scoring criteria developed on those basic ideas. Does that seem pretty well thought out? Good. Let me demo it first real quick in a slow motion and explain what I'm doing. I hope I don't get too loud here. I got to put my hearing protection in. And then we're going to come down and I'll show you a little bit more at this smaller level why they change it out. And I'll explain to you what it is that they're going to do while I'm done. Alright, let me warm up this saw real quick. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but that's refreshing to me. I love to hear chainsaws running. I can't wait to eat some of the sawdust too. I know some of you feel the same way. All right. In the event at the competition level, we may decide to have a belayer here so that you're not working by yourself, which would make sense. It's definitely a safer way to go if you do it at work. I know I do. But for the demo, I'll do it by myself. Luckily, I got a bright colored rope for this time of day. There's going to be a lot of ways to achieve what we're going to do. Some people are going to use different techniques to tie in. We may allow places for people to be innovative in their tie-in technique, their false crotch. But the idea here is to remain safe. Obviously, work within ANSI and OSHA guidelines. I'm going to put my flip line on top, which is usually a better way to go for making sure you're secure. Now, what I'm going to do here is I get up to the limb of the station here, and I got to make two cuts within this red parameter here. Basically mimicking a cut on a limb with weight that you want to prevent bark tear. There's going to be obviously ways to score it out as well. So let's go ahead and make this cut. And there's obviously at least 3 different ways to make this cut, but we're going to show one way here. Take some pictures. All right. Alright, that's the first part of the cut, and obviously there's a lot of ways to do it, but there's certain things to think about. You don't want to pinch your saw, for example. It doesn't really show good precision. You don't want to leave too much. You don't want to have your saw get stuck in the wood. And the cuts, like I said, have to be within those red lines, which is, I believe, a 3/4 of an inch spread, so it's a little bit to it. Now this one here is a little bit trickier because it's supposed to be the collar. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that and make it like a finishing cut. And clear. And then there's going to be different ideas here. One idea was if we cut into the red, it's no good. It's cutting into the car. One was if you don't cut, you have to cut within the red, not beyond the red. So both concepts I think are pretty interesting in their own. After that, the climber is going to move into position with his lanyard. This is the safety I was